I still remember the first day I saw Jake Morrison in sophomore year. He walked into Mrs. Chen's English class with messy brown hair and a crooked smile that made my heart skip. I was 15, sitting by the window, pretending to read when he took the seat right behind me. "Hey, I'm Jake," he whispered, tapping my shoulder. I turned around, trying to look casual, but my cheeks burned hot. "I'm Emma," I managed to say. From that moment, something changed inside me. We started talking every day, sharing lunch under the old oak tree, laughing at inside jokes nobody else understood. Jake made everything better. When my mom got sick that year, he held my hand and told me everything would be okay. By junior year, everyone said we were meant to be together, but we never made it official. We were just best friends who looked at each other a little too long. Senior year flew by faster than I wanted. Jake and I spent every free moment together, making plans for after graduation. He wanted to study engineering at State University, and I dreamed of becoming a nurse at City College. We promised to stay close, maybe even visit each other on weekends. But life had different plans. 2 weeks before graduation, my mom's condition got worse. The doctors said she needed full-time care, and Dad couldn't handle it alone. My younger sister was only 12. Someone had to step up. I made the hardest choice of my life. I told Jake I was moving to Arizona with my aunt who could help us. He begged me to stay, to find another way, but I couldn't. On graduation day, I hugged him tight, memorizing how safe I felt in his arms. Then I left without looking back. I changed my number, deleted social media, disappeared completely. I thought it was better that way. Arizona was lonely. I worked 3 jobs to send money home while taking online classes. My aunt tried to make me comfortable, but nothing felt right. I missed Jake every single day, wondering what he was doing, if he thought about me too. Sometimes I almost called him, but shame stopped me. What would I say? That I abandoned our friendship. That I ran away like a coward. Years passed slowly. Mom got better with treatment, and my sister grew up. I finally finished my nursing degree at 22 and decided to move back home. Dad said things had changed, new businesses opened, old friends moved away. I didn't tell him I was really coming back hoping to find Jake again. Maybe apologize. Maybe explain. Maybe see if what we had was still there. The flight home felt eternal. My hands shook the whole way. My first week back was strange. Everything looked different but familiar. I got a job at Memorial Hospital on the night shift. The work was hard, but I loved helping people. One Friday evening, my best friend from high school, Rachel, called me screaming. She was getting married and needed me to be her bridesmaid. I said yes immediately. At the dress fitting, Rachel talked about her fiancé's best man, some guy who went to our high school. My heart hoped, but I pushed the thought away. The wedding was in 3 weeks. I tried to focus on work and helping Rachel, but anxiety ate at me. What if Jake was there? What if he hated me? What if he had a girlfriend? On my lunch break one night, I sat in the hospital cafeteria, staring at cold coffee, wondering if I should ask Rachel about him. But fear kept my mouth shut. The wedding rehearsal dinner arrived too fast. I wore a simple blue dress and forced myself to walk into the restaurant. Rachel grabbed me immediately, introducing me to everyone. Then I saw him. Jake stood by the bar, taller than I remembered, wearing a grey suit that made his eyes look darker. Our eyes met across the room. His face went pale. Time stopped. 7 years melted away in seconds. He walked toward me slowly, like he couldn't believe I was real. "Emma." His voice cracked. "Jake." I couldn't say anything else. We stood there staring until Rachel pulled us apart for pictures. The whole dinner felt surreal. I caught him looking at me several times, but we didn't get a chance to talk privately. After dessert, he followed me outside. "Why did you leave?" he asked quietly. I told him everything, about Mom, about the guilt, about being too scared to reach out. He listened without interrupting. When I finished, he just nodded. I waited, he said. For 2 years. I waited for you to come back. After the rehearsal dinner, Jake and I exchanged numbers. We texted every day, trying to rebuild what we lost. But something always went wrong. Our first coffee date got cancelled when I had to cover an emergency shift. When we rescheduled, his car broke down on the highway. We tried meeting for lunch, but I got food poisoning that morning. It felt like the universe didn't want us together. Jake started to worry we were cursed. I laughed it off, but secretly wondered if he was right. Then his ex-girlfriend showed up at his apartment, begging for another chance. Jake said no, but she wouldn't leave him alone. She called him constantly, showed up at his work, even contacted his family. I told Jake I understood if it was too complicated, if he needed space. He refused to give up on us. We've waited 7 years, he said. I'm not losing you again because of bad timing. Weeks passed with more obstacles. My dad got laid off from his job, and I had to send money home again. Jake's company transferred him to a project 3 hours away for a month. We did long-distance calls, but it wasn't the same. I started to think maybe we missed our chance. Maybe we were supposed to stay in the past. Rachel noticed I was sad and invited me to dinner at her place. I went, expecting just us girls, but her husband answered the door. Rachel's running late, he said. But my buddy's here. You remember my best man. My stomach dropped. There sat my older brother, Marcus. I hadn't seen him in 4 years since he moved for work. We screamed and hugged. He looked good, happy. We caught up for an hour before Rachel arrived. Then Marcus mentioned his best friend was coming over. The doorbell rang. Jake walked in. Our eyes went wide. You two know each other? Marcus asked, confused. The truth came out fast. Jake and Marcus had been best friends since college, meeting in their engineering program. They worked at the same company now. Marcus had no idea Jake was the boy from my high school years, and Jake never knew Marcus was my brother because we had different last names after Mom remarried. This is insane, Rachel laughed. We all sat there stunned by the coincidence. Marcus looked between us, reading our faces. Wait, you two have history, Jake and I nodded. I told Marcus everything, about high school, about leaving, about trying to reconnect. Marcus listened carefully, then smiled. Well, this makes things easier, he said. I approve. Having Marcus's blessing changed everything. Suddenly, the obstacles disappeared. Jake and I finally went on a real date. Dinner at the Italian place where we had our first lunch 7 years ago. We talked for hours, laughing and remembering. It felt right, like coming home. The next 6 months were the happiest of my life. Jake and I were finally together, really together. Marcus made sure we spent time as a group, joking that he needed to supervise. We celebrated holidays with both families, who loved seeing us happy. Jake met my mom, who cried remembering him from high school. My dad shook his hand and said, "Take care of her this time." Jake promised he would. We fell into an easy rhythm, like no time had passed at all. On my 23rd birthday, Jake took me back to our high school. We sat under the old oak tree where we used to have lunch. I've thought about this for 7 years, he said nervously. Then he pulled out a small blue box. My heart stopped. Emma, I loved you at 15. I loved you when you left. I loved you while you were gone. I love you now. Will you marry me? Tears poured down my face. I couldn't speak, just nodded frantically. He slid the ring on my finger, and I finally found my voice. Yes. Always yes. We got married 6 months later in a small ceremony at the park where we had our first real conversation. Rachel was my maid of honor. Marcus was Jake's best man. Mom was healthy enough to dance. Dad walked me down the aisle without crying, though his eyes were wet. When Jake said his vows, he promised to never let me go again. I promised to never run away. We kissed as husband and wife while everyone cheered. Later, during our first dance, Jake whispered, "Was it worth the wait?" I looked around at our family and friends, at the life we were building together, at all the pain that led us back to each other. Every single second, I whispered back. 7 years of separation, countless obstacles, and one incredible coincidence brought us to this moment. Some people spend their whole lives searching for their person. I found mine at 15 and got him back at 23. Our love story wasn't perfect or easy, but it was ours. My journey taught me that hearts can wait and still beat strong. From the English class to a shared future, our love survived time. And this was only the beginning of our happy journey. Now, when I tell our story, I tell it with hope. Love may wander, but it remembers the way back. Have you found yourself separated from your love? Have you unexpectedly reconnected with your love when you least expected? Share your story in the comment section. If my love journey resonate with you, please subscribe this channel and click the notification for more real love stories. Like, share and give thumbs up.